Hello my friends, this is Mohammed, your tour guide. Today we have arrived with you at the last stop on our Nile cruise, which is the city of Aswan. Before we begin, our children, in the city, we ask you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button in order to support us in continuing to provide our content. Today we will get to know the city of Aswan and talk about the city, and in the next episodes we will visit the temples and monuments here. It is truly an amazing city. The city of Aswan is the capital of Aswan Governorate in Egypt. Aswan was historically considered one of the most important cities in southern Egypt, and its southern gateway, as the first cataract of the Nile River is located to its south, which represented a natural border between Upper Egypt and Nubia. The city is located on the eastern bank of the Nile River. It is connected to Cairo by a railway, desert and agricultural land roads, Nile boats, and local flights. Its population is approximately 900,000 people. It is one of the creative cities registered on the UNESCO list in the field of crafts and arts since 2005. The city of Aswan and its surroundings are considered a tourist and archaeological area, with an increasing number of foreign tourists, especially from Europe and East Asia. One of its most important landmarks is Elephantine Island. Elephantine. It is an island located opposite the city of Aswan. It was known in Egyptian texts as Abu, which means elephant's tooth, and in Greek it became Elephantine, as it is believed that it was at one time a center for the ivory trade. The island includes the Temple of Khnum, in addition to the presence of the Nilometer, the cemetery of the Sacred Ram, and the gate of King Amenhotep II. And the triad of Sat and Anat. Aga Khan Mausoleum. It is located on a plateau on the western side of the Nile River, opposite the southern part of the Botanical Garden. It was built there by Aga Khan III based on a request from the governor of Aswan at the time to purchase the area in which he was being treated. The governor of Aswan agreed to the request, so Aga Khan brought engineers, architects, and workers to build a tomb for him. Luxurious, made of limestone and marble. He was buried there in 1959 based on his will. This tomb is inspired by the design of the Egyptian Fatimid tombs. Philae Island. It is an island in the middle of the Nile River, and it is one of the strongest fortresses along Egypt's southern borders. It separates the Nile into two opposite channels in Aswan. It had an elephant temple and was moved from its original place on Philae Island and was collected on Angelica Island, following the construction of the High Dam. This temple dedicated to the goddess Isis, which was flooded by the waters of the Nile, was divided and reassembled in a new location above Angelica Island, about 500 meters away from its original place on Philae Island. Its buildings include a temple to Hathor, and the visitor can watch the sound and light show at night, which is presented in different languages. West Suhail. It is one of the Nubian communities in the city of Aswan and is located on a sandy slope west of the Nile River. The village was established about 100 years ago, when the old Aswan Reservoir was built in 1902, and its first elevation in 1912. The name of the village is due to its location west of Sohail Island. Abu Simbel. An archaeological site located on the western bank of Lake Nasser, about 290 kilometers southwest of Aswan. It is one of the Nubian monuments sites included in the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites, which starts from the direction of the river's flow from Abu Simbel to Philae, near Aswan. Construction of the temple complex began in about 1244 BC and continued for approximately 21 years. The temple was forgotten until 1813, when the Swiss Orientalist J.L. Burckhardt found the cornice of the main temple. He then began saving the Abu Simbel temples in 1964, and this process cost $40 million. Between 1964 and 1968, the entire site was cut into large blocks, up to 30 tons and on average 20 tons, dismantled and reassembled in a new site at an altitude of 65 m and 200 m above the river level, and is considered by many to be one of the greatest works of archaeological engineering. Some structures were saved from under the waters of Lake Nasser. Today, thousands of tourists visit the temples due every day. Convoys of buses and escorted cars leave twice a day from Aswan, the nearest city. Many visitors arrive by plane at the airport, which was built specifically for the temple complex. Here ends our episode for today, in which we talked about the city of Aswan. In the coming episodes, we will take you on a tour in several episodes in the city, visit the tourist attractions, and explain every temple in the city. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button so that we continue to provide our content.